So we're going to move on to a age group, which is actually the seniors in this country is an age group that is increasing, right? So for retired seniors over 65, living off of Social Security and pensions, what is an affordable area? Obviously, areas in Hawaii are wide, far between, varying in price, et cetera, et cetera. What is the annual income needed to live there, depending on the neighborhood? Yeah, again, this is a question you can answer, but I think, could be a little bit more brief as far as an explanation of, hey, how do you live here with Social Security and pension?
You want to start off with this one?
No. Oh, wait. I just turned 65, so I have to start out with this. Well, first of all, I'd see if my grandkids want to take care of me. No, here's the thing. I've lived here a long time. I'm established here. I bought a house in the early 90s. I'm going to live here. However, if I was coming here from someplace else, it's really going to depend on what I have. Hopefully I have something more than just my Social Security, and I've got a pension as well. But to move here, maybe there are areas where it may be easier for me to rent, actually not purchase real estate. However, a lot of people think, yeah, because I don't need to, but I want to buy something so I can leave it to family or whatever. Perhaps people move here. There are a lot of people that do move here part of the year. They do purchase property and they're snowbirds, they're retired, but they want to go back to the mainland certain times when the weather is better. So again, that's kind of just expanding on the fact that this is a broad topic based on your income and where you want to live. And also, I'm pretty sure this is where you're going to go. What lifestyle do you want? Do you want to hang around your house most of the day but be warm? You might be able only to afford the green side of Waimea on the Big Island, or the east side of Waimea, the east side of the island where it rains a lot more. But you know what? You only got to drive an hour to reach the west side and have all the beach and sunshine you want. So to me, it's which lifestyle are you looking for?
Well, so for affordable island areas on the Big Island, west side versus the east side are going to be vastly different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, affordability is significantly greater in the Hilo, Puna, Hawaiian Ocean View areas, right?
Absolutely. Yep. East and south, and sometimes a little bit to the north because it's a little bit in the Kohala area. But yeah, it's very different. If you want to be here and you're looking at affordability, you may have to choose east side, which I love. I got to tell you, I love it does rain more on the other side, but I've been over there plenty of times where the weather's good. So, okay, I'll let you take it from there.
Then it goes back to that lifestyle component because the east side versus the west side on the Big Island is vastly different. On Oahu here, what I would say is the more outside of the urban core area, the more affordable it gets. So the more affordable it gets. So the further out into the country you go on Oahu, the more affordable it gets. Now, what's the trade-off to that? We go back to lifestyle. It's commute. It's driving to things. If you want to be close to where concerts and the hip restaurants and things like that, okay, then what you're probably going to do is consider condo living because that's another affordable component for Oahu versus the single family home side. But if you want the single family home side, the further out away from the city, away from the urban areas, the more affordable it gets. And so then the question is,
no,
it's the same way, right?
I was just going to interject. When I lived in Tokyo, I lived in a small apartment. There are not a lot of big apartments in Tokyo. It was fine, but I never drove a car in 4.5 years. And on Oahu, compared to this island, your public transportation, mostly the bus, and of course Uber now, but mostly the bus is excellent transportation. So you can live downtown city life, which I did in Tokyo, and walk a lot of places and use the buses or bike or whatever else. You might not even need a car.
Yep.
When you decide you need to go a distance, you could take an Uber. And I've even seen that trend starting here on the Big Island, where some younger people are living here. They're living in the towns of Kona, or they're living in Hilo, and they take an Uber to work and an Uber home. Now they may have a car, but they use it if they decide to go to the other side of the island or something. So
Yep.
it's different. It's different here than there. So
yeah, so it's interesting that you mentioned that. So, the further out you go, the more affordable things get all around. But if you wanted that urban lifestyle, you could be in town, in the urban core area here, in a high-rise condo, which is typically going to be smaller, less square footage, and more affordable. And then, like you said, maybe you don't need the car. If you're in that dense urban area where Walmart's close by and all these big box stores, you could use public transportation. It's very good in the urban city, or Uber rides and things like that. So there's different ways here especially here on Oahu, because we do have the big city, and then you do have the country
Right.
setting. You kind of get the best of a little bit of both the worlds. Now, from an income standpoint to live here, to me, if you can pay cash for your housing, you can live here fairly affordable, in my opinion. Yes, certain things cost more, but you've eliminated your biggest expense if you can pay cash for that home that you want, or the townhome. And then if you're living off fixed income at that point, it's much easier. And especially in Hawaii, where we have warm weather all year round, and you have this connection to nature, there's so many outdoor things that you can do that don't cost money. Going for swims like you do, open ocean swims like I do, surfing, hiking, none of those cost a single thing, and you can still stay healthy. I mean, I run around Diamond Head. It's a 4-mile loop on a regular basis. Doesn't cost me anything, and I'm outdoors, and it's beautiful weather, right? So housing is going to be the biggest component, and then the other lifestyle components can be managed fairly easily. So it depends. I did a video for cost of living that breaks down a lot of the costs, and I did an in-depth blog post as well. I'll put those in the description, and it talks about, if you want to buy the median price condo, here's essentially what a lot of and you were to take a loan, here's kind of the income you would need. It came out to a little more than $60,000, $60,000 a year in income. But that's with, 80% down mortgage, and that means the median price. So half the condos sell below 500 and half sell above 500. And I did the same thing for single family homes, so people can kind of get a grasp of that. But I'll put that link down below.
Okay. No, I think that's good. So again, it's possible. There are ways to make it. And let's face it,
It's so subjective.
Hawaii is about being outside. That's where your experiences are here. I mean, even some places here, like back in the late 80s, early 90s, there's a development up the hill, even further, not far from Waimea, but not far from Waikoloa Village. It's called Waikiki Ranch. People built monstrous homes out there, monstrosities. I mean, 5,000, 6,000 square feet. It was supposed to be like an equestrian neighborhood. Now people don't want that. They don't want that big of a home. Yeah, there are still people building things that big, but it's usually one story, one level, and they have separate pods or something, whatever. It's more of a community place where maybe a company or several families could vacation at the same time. But, it's really about the outside and what you want to do when you're not in your house. So I think that's what my experiences are. They're on the golf course, they're at the beaches, they're hiking, Costco. Love Costco. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, to summarize here, it's very subjective depending on people's, what resources they have, and then what their needs are. So, in general, further out away from urban centers, the more affordable it gets. And then you also have alternatives to single family homes, which would be condos, townhouses that might work for you. And if you're paying cash for a home, then, you have a lot of free things at your fingertips because of the outdoors here, right?
Yes, and FYI, we do not have campgrounds where you can hook up your RV or your fifth wheel that you pull behind your truck. So that's kind of out as an option.
Yeah.